This guy actually hit a woman. Alright, I was too hasty. Turns out he's a counterfeit product. The man needs to go out and take care of something, so let the comrades interrogate him first. Who knew half a day would pass, and this stubborn guy wouldn't reveal a single piece of information? The man calmly said, and directly took off his jacket. Then he turned around and handed a tissue to the transvestite. The friendly persuasion immediately worked. It turns out the transvestite's friends are robbing a bank, and a large number of police are outside, unable to do anything. The man drove quickly to the scene. Without the robber's consent, he walked straight into the bank. Before the robbers could react, all the hostages ran out. At this moment, there was still a hostage with a bomb strapped to them. You have a handgun. It looks like a toy. Want to give it a try? As he said this, Old Lay kicked the handgun over. I don't know if the robber is not thinking straight, but he didn't even check if there was a problem with the gun and just threw away the small gun in his hand. He even seemed quite excited. Old Lay calmly walked towards the robber. This time, the old man didn't act as a killer, but as a detective. Because his methods are always simple and rough, sometimes there are accidental injuries. Like this time in the dance hall, he punched the governor's son. The leader asked him to go apologize. Who knew it would have been better not to go? He put the flowers in a water cup and then turned and left. The leader angrily found him. I asked you to apologize to the governor's son. Why did you beat him up again? Now the kid has to lie in bed for 2 months. The governor suggests you take a 2-month break too. Old Lay was a bit disappointed, and as he turned around, a thief was stealing a car. Old Lay quickly intervened and successfully stopped a car theft. You're not getting any younger. You can't always be so violent. You should find a woman and start a family. Turns out Old Lay has been single for 19 years. No wonder his punches are so fast. Listen to advice, eat well. In the evening, he invited over a woman who admired him. They planned to have a candlelight dinner. Where did you learn such great cooking skills? I learned it all from my ex-girlfriend. Although we were only together for 8 months, I learned a lot. The woman instantly lost her appetite. You called me over at night to reminisce about your ex. Call me again when you stop thinking about her. After saying that, the woman turned and left. Looking at the photo of his girlfriend from 19 years ago, he realized he had wasted so many years being faithful. It's time to let go. Old Lay had just put the photo in the drawer when he received a call from Japan. His girlfriend, whom he hadn't seen in 19 years, had passed away, leaving all her inheritance to him. The lawyer hoped Old Lay could come before the girlfriend's cremation. The inheritance wasn't important, it was mainly about feelings. A friend he hadn't seen in 15 years picked him up at the airport, and he went straight to the lawyer's office. After signing, he checked his girlfriend's belongings, a key, a love letter, with a note saying, "And where it began." Did she mention any wishes or hopes? Yes, to take care of your daughter until she becomes an adult. The news of his girlfriend's death, whom he hadn't seen in 19 years, came suddenly. Unexpectedly, she left him with a grown daughter. This shocked Old Lay. After 19 years of no contact, he suddenly became a father. Old Lay was at a loss for words. However, the lawyer told him that the daughter would be an adult in 2 days. Old Lay asked the lawyer not to tell the daughter about their relationship yet. At this moment, the daughter burst out of the room with a fiery temper, clearly his biological daughter. Old Lay quickly asked the lawyer for a pot of sake to calm his nerves and said he was a former colleague of her mother. The two went to the funeral home. Old Lay never expected to see his girlfriend of 19 years ago in this way. Just as he was feeling sad, he discovered something suspicious about her death. Out of professional habit, he collected crystals from her nose and dirt from under her nails. The medical record showed she died of cancer. This made it even more suspicious. He gave the medical record and samples to his friend, asking him to test them quickly. He took his daughter to the bank to see how much inheritance his girlfriend left. Old Lay was stunned when he saw the statement. $3,700,000. Are you sure there's no mistake? Better verify it again. The staff said, I understand your confusion. This is just the interest. The principal is in this account. $163 million. That's a full $200 million. This must not be known to the daughter, otherwise she definitely won't be able to handle it. Old Lay generously transferred 2,000 francs to his daughter. The daughter happily hugged him. With money in hand, it's time to go shopping. As soon as they stepped out, Old Lay noticed 2 men in black, and they followed them all the way into the mall. At this time, the test results of a friend came out. The crystals near the nose were hydrides. The girlfriend was definitely framed by someone. The two agreed to meet at the hotel in an hour. To not affect his daughter's shopping, Old Lay switched to a reckless mode. The whole process was done smoothly, and the daughter didn't notice a thing. When they got to the hotel, the friend had brought all sorts of impressive weapons. Old Lay only chose a gun. The daughter wanted to go to the store to play. Unexpectedly, the black men followed them here too. Seeing that the other party was up to no good, Old Lay had no choice but to fight back with the gun. Then, he took his daughter and ran out through the back door. This scared the daughter terribly. She asked him who he really was. Old Lay said he was the most trusted friend of her mother. Originally, He wanted to come over to discuss things, but before he arrived, the mother was killed. The two went to the mother's house to look for clues. Unexpectedly, everything had been moved out. Fortunately, Old Lei was familiar with his girlfriend's habits and knew she never put important things in movable furniture. Saying this, he punched through the wall, and inside was a notebook. It was filled with names and other details. The two returned to the hotel room, which had already been turned upside down. Looking at the mess in the room, Old Lei was not at all flustered. He knew clearly that this was just intimidation. Then, he calmly held the phone and waited. Soon, the phone rang. The other party wanted to meet him. In the hotel lobby, he handed the notebook to his friend and asked him to drive behind for protection. But at the critical moment, the car broke down and wouldn't start. They could only watch as Old Lei and his daughter went away. The mob boss is playing golf. Your stance is wrong. You're likely to fall like a husky. You're so great. Why don't you try? Just as Old Lei was about to swing, the mob boss hurriedly started to interfere. Tell me, did you come back just because of the 200 million in your daughter's account, Old Lei? Unaffected by the interference, he remained steady. The daughter steps forward to ask why he abandoned her and her mother. I was the one who was abandoned. All right. Just as the two are reunited, the mob boss wants to take the daughter away, since the money in her account can't be touched until she's of age, but in 9 hours, she will be. The mob boss orders his men to take care of Old Lei. Seeing the gun in their hands, he calmly picks up 2 golf balls. The rest are also dealt with in no time. At this moment, Hao Yu arrives late and almost sends Old Lei away. Hao Yu found information about his girlfriend. It turns out he gave up his entire past to go undercover in the mob. To weaken the mob's power, he transferred all the money to his daughter's account. The dirt under his nails comes from Kyoto, where Old Lei and he first met. Old Lei recalls the words behind the photo. Where it began, it should end. They quickly arrive at the place where they fell in love, using a key from the relics to open a box. Inside is a letter expressing 19 years of longing and apologies, and the source of the 200 million. Since the money was obtained legally, there's nothing to worry about. At 10 in the morning, just as the bank opens, the mob boss brings his daughter to transfer the money. But Hao Yu has become the bank teller. He taps the counter and transfers everything to Old Lei's name. At this moment, Old Lei walks in through the main door, and Hao Yu holds the mob boss at gunpoint. The crime boss asked Old Lei to name a price. Naming a price is fine, but I'm afraid you don't have the money, because 200 million is already in my account. His daughter, crying, came to Old Lei's side. Once he ensured his daughter's safety, the crime boss tried to seize the opportunity to shoot, but Old Lei shot him away with 1 shot. Then, bang, in 1 round, while protecting his daughter, not a single enemy was left standing. He walked out of the bank with style. The crime boss and his men tried to rob the bank, but I stopped them, leaving the police officers stunned. The crime syndicate that hadn't been dealt with for so many years was subdued by him alone. Old Lei's visa expired, and he had to return to his country. His daughter was a month away from graduating high school. They agreed to meet again in a month and then move to France together. The movie, Green Borderline, ends here. As for why it's called Green Borderline, it's simply because Old Lei likes to eat wasabi in the film. After watching this movie, I want to ask everyone, if you had $200 million, what would you most want to do with it? If it were me, I'd definitely deposit it all in the bank. I probably wouldn't even be able to spend all the interest every day. And if you want to see more great movie reviews, please follow me. Bye bye.
Yeah.